What's up, everyone? So today we have this VIOFO A329S 4K UHD dashcam, and man, this thing is loaded. We're talking 4K, 60 FPS, Sony Starvis 2 sensors, Wi-Fi 6, and on top of that, you can even use an SSD with it. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's open this thing up and see what's inside the box. Alright, jumping into the box, first thing we're getting is the rear camera. So here's the rear camera right here. This one's using a second-gen Sony Starvis 2 sensor too, which is honestly really nice. Looks super clean, feels solid too. So yeah, this is our rear camera unit right here. Then what else do we have in here? Alright, here's the main front camera. This thing actually looks really good. Very decent looking camera. And the best part is it rotates, so you can rotate this to match the perfect angle that works best for your car, which is super nice. Now this little mark right here is for the CPL filter alignment, and over here, this is where the rear camera plugs in. Nice, clean setup, really simple. Now if we keep looking around the body, here's the micro SD card slot. I think this supports up to 512 gigabyte micro SD cards. Then over here, we've got the ventilation system. And honestly, the ventilation design on this thing is really good. Airflow looks solid, definitely important because dash cams can get really hot during long recordings. Now moving to this side, again, more ventilation, love seeing that. They clearly thought about cooling here. Then we've got the USB port. Through this port, you can transfer data, connect stuff, all that good stuff. Now on the front side, we've got the menu buttons, the recording controls, microphone, Wi-Fi button, and I'm pretty sure this right here is the speaker grill. And then of course right here, the Sony Starvis 2 front camera itself. This thing rotates really smoothly too. Feels super satisfying actually. So yeah, this right here is basically the main unit. Now besides the camera itself, inside the box, we're also getting a bunch of accessories. First up, we've got this long cable here. Then we've got a USB Type-C to USB-A cable. Nice quality cable too. And then we get the rear camera cable. Now this cable is insanely long, like seriously long. And depending on the version you get, VIOFO even offers longer cable options up to 20 meters. So routing this through the car all the way to the back should be no problem at all. This cable plugs right into the rear camera port here. Let me show you guys. Just connects right in like that. Really easy setup. All right, let's see what else is inside the box. We've got the user manual in here, standard stuff. Then we're getting this filter right here, pretty nice filter actually. And there's this alignment line on it too. So when you install it, this line lines up perfectly with the camera body. Once mounted properly, it sits flush and looks super clean. Can you rotate it? Nope, doesn't rotate. You basically have to line it up properly and mount it straight. Once it's aligned correctly though, it fits perfectly. So yeah, that's the filter. Now what else are we getting here? Hold on, stuff's falling apart over here. Let me fix this real quick. Alright, besides that, we also get these extra adhesive mounts. These are basically backup 3M stickers for the dashcam setup. One for the front camera, one for the rear camera. Then we've got the cigarette lighter charging adapter, pretty standard. And we're also getting another USB Type-C to Type-C cable. Then there's another manual. Actually, no, this one's the Quick Start Guide. So this is the A329S Quick Start Guide. And then we've also got this little trim tool thing for cable management. Basically helps tuck the wires into your car panels cleanly during installation. Alright, so now what do? Obviously, we gotta plug this thing in and power it up. Looks like this is Type-C to Type-C here. Let's go ahead and connect everything. Alright, plugging it in now. And as soon as we connect power, the unit powers on automatically. Nice. There we go, we've got power. Now, after powering on, the menu should pop up automatically. Yep, there it is. VIOFO logo already showing up on screen. Honestly, boot up only takes around 10 seconds, which is actually pretty fast. And once everything connects properly, you'll see the connection icon pop up on screen too. All right, now let's jump into the menu system. So inside the menu, first thing we've got is video settings. Then inside video settings, we've got video resolution options. Looks like we're getting 4K 30 FPS, 4K 60 FPS, 2K 30 FPS, and a bunch of other modes too. Now hold on, how do we scroll down here? Touchscreen doesn't work like that, so we gotta navigate using the buttons. All right, there we go. So yeah, this supports multiple recording modes. And remember, this is a dual channel dash cam setup. So we've got the front camera and rear camera controls separately, but it does have a 3-channel option in case someone needs interior recording as well. Now moving down, we've got HDR settings. Looks like the front camera HDR is here, the rear camera HDR is here. Then there's an auto HDR timer setting. If you want, you can enable the timer. Let's just turn that on real quick. Looks like you can customize the HDR timing too. All right, backing out of there. Next up, we've got video bitrate settings. Inside bitrate, we've got low bitrate, higher bitrate, and maximum bitrate options. Right now, it's already set to low bitrate. Then we've got loop recording settings. Inside loop recording, you can choose recording intervals like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 10 minutes. Let's just set it to 5-minute loop recording for now. Done. Then we've got record audio settings. Inside here, you can completely turn microphone recording on or off depending on whether you want cabin audio recorded. Then we've got exposure value settings, and this part's actually really nice because you can separately adjust exposure for the front camera, rear camera, and interior camera individually. We have the 2-channel version, so for the interior camera, let's leave exposure at 0 for now. And for the front camera exposure, since we're filming during the daytime, I'm going to set this to -1. That should help keep highlights under control a little better. Then moving on, we've got G-sensor settings. So inside the G-sensor, we've got low sensitivity, medium sensitivity, and high sensitivity. Honestly, high sensitivity is usually too aggressive because every little movement triggers it. So I'm gonna leave this on medium sensitivity. That feels more balanced. Then after that, we've got timestamp settings. And man, there's a lot of stuff in here. You've got date and time stamps, GPS speed stamps, GPS coordinate stamps, license plate stamps, brand model stamps, resolution stamps, voltage value stamps, basically everything. And then you can even customize the timestamp text color too. White, yellow, cyan, all kinds of options here. Yeah, there's seriously a crazy amount of customization on this thing. All right, so we were inside the video settings menu. There's honestly so much stuff in here that it's kind of wild. After the timestamp options, we've got time-lapse recording. So inside time-lapse mode, you can record at 1 FPS, 2 FPS, and different interval settings. For now, I'm just gonna leave it at the default setting. Then we've got interior cam fisheye mode, which is of course for the 3-channel version. It's not applicable for our 2-channel model. So if you want that wider interior cabin look, you can turn that on. After that, we've got the IR LED controls. This is also for the 3-channel version. Looks like there's an auto mode here, but you can also manually turn it on. Now this is where things start getting really interesting. Parking recording mode. Man, this thing has a ridiculous amount of parking features. Inside parking mode, we've got hybrid parking recording, then low power impact detection, then low bitrate recording, then auto event detection, then time-lapse recording with night vision, and you can even set the time-lapse to 1 FPS while parked overnight. That's honestly pretty crazy for a dash cam. Now moving further down, we've got parking mode timer settings, then another G-sensor specifically for parking mode. So basically, if someone hits or touches your car while it's parked, the camera instantly wakes up and starts recording automatically. Now, if you keep the sensitivity too high, every passing car might trigger it. So I'm gonna leave this one on medium sensitivity too. That feels safer. Then after that, we've got parking motion detection, parking GPS, parking HDR, parking file storage. And then we've got geofencing mode. Yeah, this thing even has geofencing. So let's jump into that. Inside geofencing, we can set different zones. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, all that stuff. Let's just select Zone 3 for now. And then you can choose the radius range too. Looks like it's showing meters here, so I'm setting mine to around a 50-meter radius. When the car is parked inside one of those zones, the dash cam can automatically shut down instead of entering parking mode, which helps save battery. Right now it says GPS not available because we're indoors, but once connected properly in the car, this should work normally. Alright, backing out of that menu, then we've got vehicle battery protection. Now this section is actually really important. Inside here, we've got cutoff timer settings and cutoff voltage settings. So basically, if your battery voltage drops below a certain point, the dashcam automatically shuts off parking mode so your car battery doesn't completely die. Now moving down, we've got image rotation and mirror settings. So if you want, you can rotate the interior camera image, mirror it, flip it, all that stuff. And then there's rear image mirror mode. Honestly, there are so many settings in this thing that you can literally spend an hour just customizing everything. Then we've got GPS controls. I accidentally turned GPS off here for a second. You can see the GPS light blinking. Alright, turning that back on. Now over here, this button is the menu button. This one's the record button. This one's probably the microphone control, and this one right here is for Wi-Fi 6. Alright, let's jump back into the menu again. Now outside the video settings, we've got system settings. Inside system settings, we've got Wi-Fi controls first. Looks like this thing supports both 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and 5 GHz Wi-Fi bands. So yeah, dual band Wi-Fi support is here. Then we've got Bluetooth function mode. Inside Bluetooth functions, we've got customizable action button options. This is mainly for VIOFO accessories, like the optional remote button. So you can set the action button to do different things like turn on Wi-Fi, take pictures, mute microphone, power off, switch to time-lapse recording, toggle HDR, and more. Honestly, pretty useful. Then time zone settings. So for Bangladesh, we're setting this to GMT +6. Then after that, we've got time format settings. You can switch between 12-hour and 24-hour format. I'm leaving mine on 24-hour format. Then we've got daylight saving settings. We don't really need that here, so I'm leaving it off. Then we've got LED settings, so you can control whether the front LED stays always on, always off, or only power LED stays active. I'm setting it to power LED only. Then there's separate parking mode LED controls too. You can individually control the front LED, rear LED, and interior LED behavior during parking mode. Alright, moving on. Now here's something cool, manage SSD storage. Inside SSD storage, we can manage external SSD backups. You can back up micro SD recordings to SSD storage. There's also backup options for parking impact videos. Now, right now, it's asking us to add external SSD storage because we haven't connected one yet. Then there's delete external file settings. You can auto-delete files after 24 hours, 7 days, or longer intervals. 24 hours is honestly too short for me, so I'd probably keep important footage for at least 7 days. Now backing out again, then we've got video storage settings. Inside here, we can choose between micro SD card storage and external SSD storage. So yeah, this thing supports both simultaneously. That's honestly super nice. Right now, we don't have an SSD connected, so only micro SD is active. Now let's install the micro SD card. So the micro SD slot is right here. We're inserting the card now. Okay, wait, it still says no micro SD card. That's weird. Nothing's responding either. Oh, okay, looks like you actually have to power the unit off before inserting the micro SD card. So that's important. Power the camera off first, then insert the card. Alright, now we're restarting it. VIOFO logo pops up again. Looks clean, honestly. Now it says, please stop recording first or long press the menu button for 2 seconds before entering the menu. So right now it's actively recording. Let's stop the recording first. All right, recording stopped. Now we can access the settings properly. Then we jump into the file list. Inside file list, we can see all recorded videos and photos. Since we just formatted the storage earlier, there's only one video file right now, the one we just recorded. And yeah, you can directly play back footage from here too. Then inside photos, looks like we've got 2 sample pictures saved. Everything else got deleted during formatting earlier. So yeah, file management works pretty smoothly here. Alright, moving on from the file list, we're back inside the System Settings menu again. Now in here, we've got LED settings, beep sounds, voice notifications, storage options. Honestly, this thing is packed with settings. Then we've got voice notifications. Let's turn that on too. And after that, voice control. Now this is actually pretty cool. You can literally control certain functions using voice commands. So once voice control is enabled, you can say things like, take a photo, and the camera automatically captures a photo. You can also say, turn on audio, and it'll enable microphone recording. Or turn on screen, and the display wakes up instantly. That's honestly a pretty nice feature for driving, because you don't have to touch the camera while you're on the road.
Now after that, we've got GPS settings. Then speed unit settings. Looks like we can switch between miles per hour and kilometers per hour. I'm gonna leave it on kilometers. Then we've got filter settings. So once the CPL filter is installed, footage should look cleaner with reduced glare and reflections. Honestly, that's gonna help a lot during daytime driving. Then we've got language settings, then format storage. Now obviously if we hit format, it's gonna wipe all the data, so we're not touching that right now. Then there's format reminder settings too, and this is actually pretty useful. You can set reminders to format the storage every 15 days, 30 days, or 60 days. That's honestly a smart feature because dashcams constantly overwrite footage, so regular formatting helps maintain storage health. Then we've got export settings, turning that on. Then default settings, then version information. Looks like this is the VIOFO A329 version right here. Now honestly, one thing you should definitely mention about this camera is just how clean the footage looks. Like seriously, even license plates from vehicles behind you look super sharp and readable. That clarity is crazy. Alright, now let's switch the resolution properly to 4K 60 FPS because obviously that's the main thing people want to see. So we're selecting 4K 60 FPS now. Done. Now let's see what kind of footage quality we actually get from this thing. Alright, recording started, and yeah, wow, the field of view is really wide, super wide angle coverage. Honestly, the camera captures a huge portion of the road. Everything seems to be functioning properly. HDR works, SDR works, all the recording modes seem stable. Now, after using the camera for a while, one thing I did notice is that the unit definitely warms up during long recording sessions. But honestly, that's expected for a 4K 60 FPS dashcam. The good thing is, the ventilation system actually works really well. Touching the body right now, yeah, it's warm, but not dangerously hot or anything. Feels manageable. Now, this front camera unit itself looks really premium too. Very smooth rotation mechanism, feels solid. And again, we've got Sony Starvis 2 here, which honestly makes a huge difference in low light performance. Then over here, we've got the rear camera again. Rear camera quality also looks really nice, very clean image. So both front and rear cameras look impressive. Now the front camera rotates, but the rear camera itself doesn't rotate like the front one does. Still, installation flexibility looks pretty good overall. Now, while using it for a longer period, I checked the temperature again, and honestly, temperatures stayed around 39 degrees Celsius most of the time. That's actually very normal for something recording 4K footage continuously. At one point, I checked the hotter side of the body, and it peaked around 45 degrees Celsius max, still completely acceptable. Honestly, for a device doing this much processing, that's pretty good thermal management. Like seriously, it's not overheating or throttling or anything. The ventilation design definitely helps here. Now let's connect the rear camera properly. Since the rear camera cable is super long, routing it across the vehicle should be easy. Like seriously, this cable feels endless. You could probably run this from one side of the car to the other without any issue at all. Alright, plugging it in now. Rear camera connected. And now both cameras are active simultaneously, so now we can switch between front camera and rear camera views easily. And once the rear camera is connected, you immediately see the second camera feed appear on screen. Front feed is here, rear feed is here. Everything looks good. Now regarding SSD support, you can connect up to 4 terabytes SSD with it, which is pretty cool. But once connected, the SSD options become available inside the storage menu. Now let's talk about the smartphone app connection. So first we press the Wi-Fi button. Alright, Wi-Fi connected. Now jumping into the VIOFO app on the phone. Inside the app we can access live preview, recordings, downloads, settings, everything. Now let's test download speed because this thing has Wi-Fi 6. We're downloading a sample clip now. And wow, 174 megabytes downloaded almost instantly. That's fast, seriously fast. Wi-Fi 6 definitely makes a noticeable difference here. And inside the app, you can also preview footage, delete clips, manage recordings, all that stuff directly from your phone. Super convenient, honestly. So yeah, overall, after spending some real time testing this thing out, first impressions are honestly super solid. You're getting Sony Starvis 2 sensors, true 4K 60 FPS recording, Wi-Fi 6, SSD support, front and rear cameras, plus a crazy amount of extra features like parking mode, geofencing, voice controls, HDR, and tons of customization options. Like seriously, this thing is absolutely packed with features. Everything feels smooth and responsive, the menus are easy to navigate once you get used to them, and the overall video quality looks really sharp and clean. Even after extended use, the thermal performance stayed pretty reasonable too, thanks to the solid ventilation design. Overall, this genuinely feels like a premium dashcam setup with a ton of high-end features built into it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully this gave you a good idea of what the VIOFO A329S is capable of. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!